Good morning, class. I'm starting with my new lecture as I stopped my last lecture on that particular topic on class diagram. From there, I will start. I'm sharing my PPT or PDF here. Just wait. What are the things goes as I discussed in the last class about class diagram. So I'm explaining something about class diagram, and at that particular thing, I'm stopping there. I'm starting from that points. I'm talking about the class diagram commonly contain the following things: classes, interface, collaboration, dependency, generalization, association relationship. Like all the other diagrams, class diagram may contain nodes and constants. Class diagrams may also contain packages or subsystems, both of which are used to group element of your model into large chunks. As I stopped from previous class, and now I will start from the adding some points in the class diagram. First, we are thinking about if we are going to design anything. We just as I discussed in the last module, if I we are going to design or we are going to define something new, then we are thinking about why we do these things and why what are the uses of this. So the point is this: after this a long discussion about class diagram, I will some little bit description about purpose of class diagram. The purpose of class diagram is to model the static view of an application. The class diagrams are the only diagrams which can be directly mapped with object-oriented language and thus widely used at the time of construction. As I discussed, the class diagram is only a diagram which is directly work with the object. So it will be designed for the purpose of construction of a software or a non-software things. The UML diagrams like activity diagram, sequence diagram can only give the sequence flow of the application, but class diagram is a bit different. So it is the most popular UML diagram in the coder community. The purpose of class diagram can be classified: first, analysis and design of the static view of an application. Next, describe reusability of a system. Base for component and deployment diagram. And next, forward and reverse engineering. These are the main point for which we are going to design a class diagram, because class diagram give analysis and design of a static view. If we are going to design an application, we have some blueprint, and that blueprint give a proper information of that thing after completion of that, and what are the functions in that particular application. So this thing is very easy to design, very easy to peek out, and it is mainly for very much used in the part of coder. The class diagram is very important in the part of coder. So in the class diagram, analysis and design of the static view of the application, as the reusability of the system is also mentioned in the class diagram, and class diagram show the base for component and deployment diagram. It means it start from the bottom, what the component and what the things are going on, and how do they going deploy on a particular system or a particular organization for a particular application. For that, this application going to be designed. And forward and reverse engineering, which is designed in the class diagram, and we easily, and the coder is easily to peek out what the reverse engineering and where the forward engineering. Class, now I'm moving to the next. If we are knowing about the class diagram and about the purpose of class diagram, then next is how to create it. How to create a class diagram, which is very important, because main motive is to learn about designing of the class diagram, because we are here to learn object oriented analysis and design subject, and in this subject we are studying about UML diagrams and class diagrams and so many different diagrams. So the main thing is to how to construct a diagram. So here we are going to study about class diagram. So now the main purpose is going to the how to design a class diagram. Class diagrams are the most popular UML diagrams used for construction of software applications. So it is very important to learn the drawing procedure of a class diagram. Class diagram is basically a graphical representation of the static view of the system and represents different aspects of the application. So a collection of class diagram represent the whole system. The points should be remembered while drawing a class diagram is first thing, first point is the name of the class diagram should be meaningful to describe the aspect of the system. This is an important thing, because if we are going to design a class diagram, first thing, as we discussed previously, class name is very important, because class name holding the attributes, the behavior, the operations. So if these three elements are present in the class, that will be very descriptive descriptive and very meaningful. So everyone can easily know what the class is it has. Here, next, moving to the next, each element and their relationship should be identified in advance. Responsibility of each class should be clearly identified. For these are the points when we designing a class diagram. As we mentioned, first, name of the class diagram should be meaningful. Second, each element and their relationship should be identified in advance. If before going to design a class diagram, the element of class diagram and their relationship should be identified previously before going to design, because in between designing we cannot define identify that relations. Firstly we identified the relationship, and that relationship be mentioned in the class diagram. Responsibility of each class should be clearly identified, and so many class are in the class diagram. So the responsibility of each class is very clear, what the class holding elements and what are the operation with this class, because one class diagram, so many classes there, and each and every class have some properties, and their relationship with the other class is also present there. So responsibility of the designer of the class diagram is that each class should be clearly identified. Second, next point, for each class, minimum number of properties should be specified, because unnecessary property will make the diagram complicated. It means the minimum, if we are going to design a class diagram or any class diagram, designer should maintain the complexity, the minimum number of property which are specified within the class, because class diagram having so many classes in a single class diagram. So according to the classes, their properties, their operations are inherited in the class. So it's designer who designed the class diagram is concerned on the minimum number of properties should be specified within the class diagram, which next use nodes whenever required to describe some aspect of the diagram. Is very important because as I mentioned so many times, a single class diagram having so many classes in a class diagram, so each and every step are very clearly present in the diagram for that particular things. When needed, nodes were required to describe some aspect of the diagram, because at the end of the drawing it should be understandable to the developer or coder. Finally, before making the final version, the diagram should be drawn on plain paper and reworked as many times as possible to make it correct. Before going to display the diagram, final version or final diagram, please draw the diagram on a paper, and this diagram evaluate so many times as possible to make it correct. Now the following diagram is an example of an order system, or I'm explaining an example. So it describes a particular aspect of the entire application. First of our order and customer are identified as the two elements of the system, and they have a one to many relationship, because a customer can have multiple orders. If I'm explaining here order system of an application, you are just thinking about when you are uh, when you are just checking or just seeing what are the going in a shop, what are the functions done between customer and order. Just think on according to the shop, according to the online shopping, according to the any manner of shopping, any manner of the ordering of the things, what are the things are happen, and how to the evaluation make. And this will be explained in my example. First of all, order and customer are identified as the two elements of the system. First, I'm just again explaining order and customer are identified as two elements of the system, and they have a one to many relationship. One customer have multiple orders. We would keep order class is an abstract class, and it has two concrete classes. Inheritance relationship is between customer and order. Concrete classes: special order and normal order. As you know, order class have abstract class, and it has two concrete classes: special order and normal order. The two inherited classes have all the properties as the order class. In addition, they have additional functions like dispatch and receive. So the following, so we are, so I am explaining about the diagram of that particular order system of an application. We create a first class customer, and second is order. The customer class have attributes name, location, and customer class have operation, send order, receive order. These are the element of a customer class. And next, order class have the element of data, date, and number string. is a attribute of the order, and functions and operation confirm and close. And this order class have two inherited classes, as I explained before. One is special order and second one is normal order. These two classes are inherited in the order class, and order class have an special order and normal order classes have the same properties, but in the spatial order the attributes are data and number, and confirm, close, and dispatch is the operation. And in the normal order, date, time, and numbers, these are the attributes, and the operation of confirm, close, dispatch, receive. These are the simple class diagram which show the order application class diagram. Class diagram is a static diagram, as I explained, and it is used to model a static view of a system. The static view, describes the vocabulary of the system. Class diagram is also considered as the foundation for component and deployment diagram. Class diagrams are not only used to visualize the static view of the system, but they are also used to construct the executable code for forward and reverse engineering of any system. Generally, UML diagrams are not directly mapped with any object-oriented programming language, but the class diagram is an exception. Class diagram clearly shows the mapping with object-oriented language like Java, C++. So from practical experience, class diagram is generally used for construction purpose. Class diagrams are used describing the static view of the system, showing the collaboration among the element of the static view, describing the functionalities performed by the system, construction of the software application using object-oriented language. These are the functions which are used within the class diagram. Class diagram show the static view. It also shows the collaboration among the elements and functionality performed by the system and application using object-oriented language. The techniques are used to design a class diagram. No class stands alone. Rather, each work in collaboration with others to carry out some semantics rather than each individual. Therefore, in addition to capturing the vocabulary of the system, you will also need to turn your attention to visualize, specifying, constructing, and documenting the various ways these things in your vocabulary work together. You use class diagram to represent such collaborations. When you create a class diagram, you just model a part of the things and relationship that make up your system's design view. For this reason, each class diagram should focus on one's collaboration at a time. Now, moving to the next, logical database scheme. Designing a class diagram, we think about the logics of the class diagram. Many of the systems you have model, we have presented objects, which means that they can be stored in a database for later retrieval. Most of often you will use a relational database, an object oriented database, or a hybrid object relational database for persistent storage. The UML is well suited to modeling logical database scheme as well as physical databases themselves. The UML's class diagram are a superset of entity relationship diagrams, a common modeling tool for a logical database design, whereas classical ER diagram focus only on data class diagram. Now, here I'm discussing about all thing about the class diagram, and now moving to the, because here I'm so many time I'm explaining the class diagram is defining the collaboration of elements and how to they evaluate together. The main thing is that the relationships between the elements is also a very important part in the diagram, in the UML diagram, also in the class diagram, also in the any kind of diagram which we make for a particular application. The element of the diagram, element of the application, how they are related to each other, it is very important part in the diagram, UML diagram or any type of UML diagram. So I'm here explaining about the relationship. When you build abstraction, you will discover the very few of our classes stand alone. Instead, most of them collaborate with others in a number of ways. Therefore, when you model a system, not only must you identify the things that form the vocabulary of your system, you must also model how these things stand in relation to one another. This is a main thing which I explained in front of you. It's not only a designing part, it also mentions how these things are interrelated. It will be shown by their relation. And relationship is a connection among things. In object-oriented modeling, there are three kinds of relationship that are especially important: dependency, generalization, association. A dependency is a using relationship that states that a change in specification of one thing, for example class event, may affect another thing that use it, for example class window. As we mentioned, as we share, if I a normal practical life, how to define a dependency. Dependency means the relation between two or more classes in which a change in one may force change in the other. It means if a change in one class, definitely second one is changed. However, it will always create a weaker relationship. Dependency indicates that one class depends on another. In the following example, a student has dependency on college, as I mentioned in the PDF, but not necessarily the reverse. Graphically, a dependency is rendered as a directed line. Dash is dashed directed line. As I mentioned in this figure, student is depend on college, and student depend on college I will mention by the dashed line. This dashed line show the dependency within the diagram. If you are seeing a very big diagram of class diagram or any relation, any type of diagram, and there mention this type of arrow, that can you easily pick out the relation between two elements are dependent. Dash directed line, directed to the things being depend on. Here the student depend on college, so directed to the thing being depend on. So the line is directed to on the college. It means student is depend upon the college. So element student is a one class or one element, and college is the also a second class, another class and another element. So student is depend on the college. So here the relationship between student and college is dependency relationship. And use dependency when you want to show one thing using another. Moving to the next generalization. A generalization is a relationship, or we can say a generalization had to connect a subclass to its superclass. A subclass is inherited from its superclass. Generalization relationship cannot be used to model in interface implementation. Class diagram allows inheriting from multiple superclass. In the given example, the class student is generalized from person class. A generalization is a relationship between a general thing called the superclass or parent class and a more specific kind of that thing called the subclass or child class. Generalization is sometimes called and is a kind of relationship. Is a kind of relationship. One thing like the class by window is a kind of a more general thing. For example, the class window. Generalization means that object of the child may be used whenever the parent may appear, but not the reverse. In other words, generalization means that the child is substitutable for the parent. A child inherits the property of its parents, especially their attributes and operations. Often, but not always, the child has attributes and operation in addition to those found in its parents. An operation of a child that has the same signature as an operation in a parent overrides the operation of the parent. This is known as polymorphism. Generalization is rendered as a solid directed line with a large open arrow ahead pointing to the parent. Use generalization when you want to show parent and child relationship. Now, moving to the next, an association in a an association is defined because these are the relationship which we are using when we are designing a class diagram or UML diagram, because relationship is very important, as I discussed previously, and so many times I've been telling about the relationship. So relationship is basically concern on the dependency, on the generalization, and now moving to the associations. How the things are associated and how the things are attached and how the things are evaluated within the diagram. These everything is defined within the relationship, and relationship is show what the elements and what the classes are in the diagram react to each other. Here I am talking about the association. This kind of relationship represents static relationship between class A and class B. For example, an employee work for an organization. Here are some rules for association. Association rule, before going to I discuss about the rules, I'm adding about association. Association is a structural relationship that specifies the objects of one thing are connected to object of another. Given an association connecting to class, you can navigate from an object of one class to another of the one class to an object of the other class, the vice versa. It's quite legal to have both in of an association circle back to the same class. This means that given an object of the class, you can link to other objects of the same class. An association that connects exactly two classes is called a binary association, although it is not a not as common. You can have association that connect more than two classes. These are called an array associations. Graphically, a association is rendered as a solid line connecting the same or different classes. Use association when you want to show structural relationship. Now I'm moving to the some rules of association. Association is mostly verb or a verb phrase or noun phrase. It should be named to indicate the role played by the class attached at the end of the association path. Mandatory for reflexive associations. In this example, the relationship between a student and college age, so which is study. Here I'm explaining about the whole relationship, how two relationships are evaluated and how to relationships are used. Now I'm stopping here and I will be explained with the next topic in the next lecture. Thank you.